Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 33. Let's jump into things. Okay, so kind of a short turn. No big deal. We have completed construction 4. This is actually really important for us. This is going to unlock some nice forging options as we move forward into the game. Kind of late to be getting here compared to where I would rather be, but with the weird early start that we had to this game, I guess it's kind of okay. So we're gonna start forging in earnest. It's gonna be a progressive kind of situation, as we want to be efficient about it. So we're probably gonna work on forging hammers first, and then after a collection of hammer forging turns, right? So forge a hammer, then use the hammer to forge another hammer, then use the hammers to forge some more hammers, right, etc., etc., that type of situation. Once we get to a portion where we feel stabilized and good, then we'll have 5 or 6 hammers, spread those around, and then start making other items in there. On our way to Evocation 3 namely for astral probing. Spike the Marcata Scout has claimed the Throne of the Sun in the name of Holy Capuchin, Master of Navigation, Master of the Hunt, Far Travel. We have cast Mother Oak, and it was successful. I didn't really have much concern about it not being successful, considering how much that we put into it. Obviously, the concern is will we recoup our investment, or will this end up being a loss? As long as it's close, right, then it's not gonna matter. If we were to keep it for 10 turns and then lose it, that'd be honestly not that big of a deal. But if we were to lose it in the next turn or two, then that's gonna be a big deal. We'll see how it goes. We got a Voice of Apsu, and we actually got a couple of hits here. So we've got a Mist Caverns and an Enchanted Well. This is a water, air, and a water. So 2 water and an air gem off of a single cast of Voice of Apsu. Very, 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 very worthwhile for us, almost exclusively for the air. Water is kind of that supplemental thing. We're going to make use of it, but it's not a, oh my god, moment for us. But we're getting to the point where we have a lot of water income, and that can be useful. Okay? So we've got some battles to witness. So let's watch the Pangea versus Kailasa battle real quick. And we've got a whole bunch of White Centaurs against really just Province Defense. So let's see if we notice anything new. Alright, so we've got a Divine Blessing from the Prophet here, Kyria, the Scout, and then we've got a Grieving Dryad here. Is this like a national hero? Or is this the god? Oh, this is definitely not the god. This is like a national hero. I don't know that I've ever seen this. The Grieving Dryad. That's pretty cool. Very strong. Okay, so we've got a Divine Blessing and Wooden Warriors casting, okay, which turns these guys into Monstroils. Just incredibly monstrous. Oof. Goodness gracious. Like a fucking shot. Very, very scary. 99 morale. Oh, because he's berserk. It's like, what? Alright, so these guys are scary, especially with the Wooden Warriors hits, right? That bumps up their protection. That's kind of one of their only limiting factors. They have very high defense skill, very high kill statistics, basically. And with the bless that they have, they're very scary. Adding on decent protection. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Alright, let's watch our battle in Delca. This is going to be significantly less of a thing. So, we've got a giant infantry block, a bunch of Mushushus, some Clockwork Boys, and not really anything. And that's fine. We did not put our Mushushus on hold and attack, so that is a concern. Got some lightning coming out. I mean, this really shouldn't matter. Okay. But that did point out some things to us, so we will take a look at that. We lost one Clockwork Horror. Okay. Unexpected event in Ial. A handful of gems have been found in the shards of a broken mirror. Air gems +5. Very nice. An unexpected event in Feverfens. A local wizard has been lynched after allegations of turning a peasant into a frog. His magical resources have been transported to the lab. Nature gems +4 and astral pearls +2. Actually really happy about the astral pearls. Oh goodness. Okay, so that is the turn's news for us. Take a look at what we're doing. Obviously the big stuff is the war with Yomi. So to kind of, before we talk about what we are doing, talk about what Lanka is doing. So Lanka was previously in the Cloud Breakers. There is now an army from Yomi in the Cloud Breakers that is... It's like 400 demons. It's big. It's very big. Actually, can I show this? I mean, I'm sure I can, but it'll take a second. So I'm not super worried about it. But it's 140 Ao Onis, 140 Ko Onis, some mixed other scenarios, right? It's got 4 Dai Onis in it, 6 Demon Generals, 5 Onishigos. It's a lot. It's a fair fucking amount. It's a scary army. One that I'm not sure we match up well against, honestly. So that's something to be concerned about. Now, Lanka was previously in 167. Lanka has moved into Silver Grove and I think into Holberg. No, Lanka already held Holberg. So I think Lanka has moved entirely into Silver Grove. Maybe there was... I think Lanka split their forces, right? Because they realized they had brought too many forces and they were starving, right? So he didn't want to fight a big battle with starving forces, right? Have the morale check, especially since like Dionis have fear and things like that, right? So that's definitely a concern. That's a concern for us. We have 256 supplies here in Delca, and we're gonna run into some other issues, but we're gonna try to handle that here in just a second. So this is a big concern, right? This is the majority of his forces all balled into this big death ball, and then he's got some, you know, Onishugos and Ko-Onis here on his capital. We're gonna have to... Hopefully, we are not the ones who fights the massive army. So, fingers crossed. But hopefully, Lanka wins versus the massive army. Also, fingers crossed. So, what are we doing? We are doing a couple of different things. One, we're moving our scouts around just to try to keep vision of the things. We're also scrying with Gudu 22 over here. We're actually gonna scry on Silver Grove, because my anticipation is Yomi is going to try to attack into Silver Grove, and we'll see how that goes. We're crossing the river, river's frozen, we're crossing the river into trackless wastes. We should one turn pop this fort. There's a problem with that though. This is a wasteland. My hope, right, is that the forts do increase supply bonus, right? So my hope is that with the fort, it won't be too bad. And we're going to pop it real quick. We should pop it in one turn and take it without any real issue. And then what we're doing is we are actually making some bags of wine. Actually, I think we're going to make a couple. We're going to make one more. So we're making endless bags of wine over here using our very high nature gem income. We're just going to churn some of those out real quick. And the plan will be to pop trackless wastes, drop a lab there in the next turn. Or, well, not the next turn, but the turn after. Right, the turn we take it, or the turn after we take it, and then pick up those endless bags of wine from that lab, and then use this fort as a forward base, basically. Okay, so that's the plan. That's the hope. I don't know that that's gonna go well. It's probably going to lead to us starving and gaining more and more diseases. I really wish we had an anti-disease scenario. We'll look into that, but I don't think there are really great options. There are some, I think there are some nature options, but I have to look that up. I know there are blood options for commanders, and I think there's a nature option for commanders, but I don't know that there's a nature option. I don't know that there's any option for just, like, units outside of just having healers. I wish there was a healer, a summonable healer. I wish every nation, right, that could get into, like, nature or something like that. Or maybe not even nature, maybe, like, astral? I don't know. But I wish there was a summonable healer. Make it expensive too. I don't care. That's fine. But just like that's a chase for me because I loathe having all of my people run around, you know, dying. Actually, you would think I'd use recuperation more frequently because of that, but I don't. It just competes with other things too much. Anyways, okay, I'm getting off track. So we're attacking into trackless wastes. That should be an easy win. Like I said, his big army is over here in Cloudbreaker. So even if we hit trackless wastes and he comes at me directly, so he can move here into Wick this turn, we would be here. Then he could move here. We would storm the fort. Then we would be inside a fort and he could attack us. So it really wouldn't be. It would. You know, I think we're okay. Could be wrong. We might get this army annihilated. So we'll see how it goes. Let's change some stuff real quick. We do not have this on hold and attack, so we do want that on hold and attack. And I think we actually like move this down slightly. You. Last one. You. Okay. Should be good. Alright. What else are we doing? Honestly, not a whole lot. We're moving NC2 back to to pick up. I say to pick up all of these forces, but really, I have no plans on engaging Pan. I guess probably the most likely scenario is for us to take these forces from with NC2 and maybe a little bit of mage support and head down towards Belagor, basically. The goal being that if Pan... Now, AI Kailasa is fighting back against Pan, but the assumption, right, is that Pan's going to win relatively easily. So we're going to probably try to snag some land from Kailasa. See how it goes. And go from there. Because we got to try to get stronger. While dealing with this, recruitment-wise, we are recruiting a couple of different things. We are getting Gudus up in the north to start building mage cadres up there. We are getting a Ishib in as well as a normal amount of units. And in Kronberg, we're getting another Enchantress. Now, we did get an Enchantress this past turn, and we lucked out. We got Fire. We didn't get super lucky because we didn't get Fire 2, and that's kind of like the ultimate grab, right? So what we're going to be looking at here is we're going to... We're currently getting 2 Fire Gems per month. We're site searching with this Enchantress. And we're probably going to recruit Enchantresses for the next couple turns until we have either a Fire 2 Enchantress, 30 Fire Gems to empower our Fire 1 Enchantress, or combination thereof, hitting Augury. And the point being, right, is that we get 2 Fire Gems per turn. We need a Fire 2 to cast Augury. So once we get Augury, we basically want to immediately start casting it every single turn to try to site search, make sure that we get all of the Fire Gems that we can, and potentially break ourselves into another path. So we'll see how that kind of turns out. May or may not go well. In our capital, we are forging a Dwarven Hammer with our God. The next turn, we are probably going to turn around and use that hammer to forge another hammer with our God. The following turn, we are probably going to turn around and use that hammer to forge another hammer with our God, and then use the second hammer on a Gudu to forge a pair of boots, so that a pair of Earth boots, so that we have access to Earth 3 on a Gudu, and then a Gudu can start forging hammers so that our God doesn't need to. Rinse and repeat, right? So we're gonna burn through our Earth gems probably pretty fucking quickly, which is dangerous. We're kind of trying to make a play for mid to late game at this point, but we'll see how it goes. That is another reason why we're getting an Ishib this turn, by the way, is because we have opened up some more options with our Construction 4 now. So we have more things we can do with all of these water gems. So we want to have someone to be able to cast things, but our other Ishib 1 right now, is doing Voice of Apsu, and we want him to continue doing Voice of Apsu every turn. And I've basically committed to the concept of, once I finish Evocation 3, running up Thaumaturgy for the other site-searching spells, although I do want to point out that going into Thaumaturgy does get us other things aside from just these site-searching spells. Obviously, that's my main goal as I go to level 4, but it does give us other options. We can utilize other options. Not super worried about it, especially if we get into the late game and we actually get a decent supply of shamans, who we're starting to get this turn, and or crystal sorceresses, and or if we go late, we start actually getting Apkalus, then having some Thaumaturgy is actually going to go pretty well. And it's not going to take us very long to get up to Thaumaturgy 4. We'll have Evocation 3 done next turn, along with Thaumaturgy 2. We'll have Thaumaturgy 3 done the following turn, and I think we'll have Thaumaturgy 4 done the turn after that. So I think it should only be 3 turns, if we're scaling correctly. I might be off by a turn. It might take 4 turns total to get to Thaumaturgy 4 instead of 3 turns, but it should be pretty close. We'll see how it goes. That's pretty much the turn, though. We've taken Mother Oak. We're gonna start using that. We're invading Yomi, but honestly, we're hoping to avoid a big battle. And we're trying to figure out what in the world we're gonna do for the future. Because I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. That's gonna be it for the turn. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.